Welcome to the Austin Super Regional here on ESPN2. Lowell Galindo with the three-time All-American Keith Moreland. North Carolina just punching their ticket, the first to Omaha. Tennessee Tech trying to get to Omaha for the first time in program history. Texas trying to expand on their number as they have been to Omaha more than any program in college baseball history. It is a 1-0 lead for the Longhorns after Duke Ellis delivered a one-out double, moved to third on a pass ball, and moments ago, Zach Zubia with a sac fly to right field, driving him in to give the Longhorns the 1-0 lead. Marcus Evie on the mound for the Golden Eagles. Clemens in motion for naught, as that's a strikeout swinging from Mason Hibbler. At the end of one, Texas with the 1-0 lead. As you take a look at the road to Omaha, North Carolina, the first team to advance. The Longhorn side of the bracket, you have 4 matchups with national seeds against seeds that weren't among the top 16. But for Tennessee Tech, we talk so much about how potent the offense is. 134 home runs on the season. That's the most of the nation. To take it a step further, it's the most in the BB-Core era. And Keith, we've seen teams like this before. Smaller conference, great numbers, and you can usually follow it by saying, well, they haven't played anybody, and they haven't played in an environment like this. Not the case for the Golden Eagles after they went to Oxford, Mississippi last week.
Well, it's difficult to do to go. They lose the first one. They have to come through the loser's bracket. They win 2 ball games on Monday to put themselves in this position. This is a team that has over 1,000 OPS as a team. It's hit more home runs than any other team in America, and it's played in a hostile environment. It's still going to boil down to little bitty things. In the first inning for Texas, they got him over, got him in, and took a 1-0 lead.
Meanwhile, for the Longhorns, you look at their storylines. Cody Clemens, Golden Spikes finalist, 21 home runs, 5th most in the NCAA, because the Longhorns, they really don't have a stat that jumps out like the offensive numbers at Tennessee Tech, but they do have one of the best players in America. And this is how it all started off. Nolan Kingham was on the mound for the Longhorns, had a couple early strikeouts, went 3 up, 3 down. For the Longhorns offensively, off the glove of Colin Harris out in left field, Duke Ellis with the double. He moves over to third. They walk Clemens, Zubia with the sac fly.
Well, they did a good job of taking advantage. You get him on, get him to second, take advantage of the misplay of the pass ball, and then drive him in. And Clemens with a really good at-bat, an 11-pitch at-bat.
Yeah.
For the walk in front of that. And Kingham was outstanding as he toes the rubber again here, striking out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. And you look at this Tennessee Tech ball club, what I like about them is you just watch the way they go about their business. They can hit the ball in the ballpark. They're creative. They also see pitches. They're not a team that comes to the plate and just hacks at the first pitch. They're good offensively, and they get deep counts.
Chase Chambers leading off. He's one of the best in the Ohio Valley Conference, one of the best in America. See the numbers for the big first baseman: 404, 17 home runs, 82 RBI, and Clemens will range up the middle to retire Chase Chambers. So it's all about the mentality when you talk to Matt Braga, their head coach. It's an aggressive mentality. 134 home runs, the next best 98. The next best for a team still playing was Florida at 91 entering today's action. I mean, it's not just the best, it's the best by far across the board.
Oh, they can hit, and so it must play in a really small ballpark. It may be a home run park, but wind blows in as much as it blows out. They play in a really good league. The Ohio Valley Conference is a conference, a very underrated conference, and they have been really good now for a while. And this culminated this opportunity to punch their ticket to Omaha.
And they're used to seeing upper echelon arms. I mean, we've been talking about Casey Mize. Started for the Tigers of Auburn today against Florida. Didn't have his best stuff, but you are talking about the dude that was the #1 overall pick. Tennessee Tech actually did okay against him last year in the Tallahassee Regional. So they are used to seeing upper echelon pitching. It's not like they are newcomers to seeing some really good arms. Fouled back by Trevor Putzig. His nickname is Sparky, because he really is like the spark plug of this team. And I was talking about the mentality. that Matt Braga wants everybody to have. He wants him to be more like Putzig, a guy that steps into the box and almost says to the pitcher, I'm better than you. That's hard hit. Hamilton will not give it a look. And that is the first base knock for the Golden Eagles. And that's a great example right there of the Golden Eagles. They don't have to mash necessarily to win games. That's a good at-bat there from Trevor Putzig.
Yeah, he got a breaking ball, and you can see, taking on teams who in the Power 5 throughout the year, they did just fine.
Yeah.
You look at them right there, they have one loss. They're not intimidated. They come to the plate. It's a veteran ball club. You'll hear Lowell talk, folks, all afternoon long. Another senior, another junior coming to the plate.
And you see the 2 wins against West Virginia. That's how the 28-game winning streak all started. 28 straight. That's a stat. Doesn't matter who you're playing. I mean, it's a game of baseball. You know how that goes. Sometimes there's going to be a hiccup.
Any given day. It's controlled 60 feet 6 inches away, and you might face a guy that's just super that day.
And it's now 1-1 to David Garza as Kingham takes something off of it. Garza's fantastic shortstop from the state of Washington. 310. He is the weak link in this lineup at 310. Unreal.
Nolan Kingham right now is doing a nice job. In the first inning, almost exclusively the sinking fastball. Here he's changed eye levels a couple of times and used his breaking ball effectively.
Was forced to work slower than he typically does last week, dealing with the flu, and it paid off for him. What do you think about his pace so far?
Nolan likes to work quickly, there's no doubt. Right now, though, I really like his mix. He's come out, established his sinker early in the game. Here in the second inning, he's come back and used his breaking ball, and it's been effective.
2-2 with Putzig on first. Double play ball. Hamilton, Clemens, up top to McKenzie. And that does it. One of the best double play duos in college baseball right there, and Kingham, the beneficiary.
Well, you get the fastball, get it hit on the ground, and let your middle infield do the work.
Welcome back to Austin. Bottom of the second, Ryan Reynolds leading off. You saw some of the sights for the regional round for both Tennessee Tech and Texas. Such an interesting dynamic how just back on Monday, there was no fan base in America that loved Tennessee Tech more outside of Cookeville, Tennessee, than the folks wearing burnt orange here in Austin, Texas. That's the reason why they have packed UFCU Disch-Falk Field, because the Golden Eagles, with that win, ensured that Texas would not be traveling to Oxford so they could host this super regional. That changes a little bit on this game day, however.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it does. Big inning for Evie coming back out. See, he really got into the flow, really did a pretty good job of pitching around Clements. The sacrifice fly got him, and see if he can come back out here and throw a zero and match the intensity that Nolan Kingham is giving the Texas Longhorns.
Because at this point in time, if you're Evie, you know one run ultimately with your offense. This is not going to be the difference in the game.
But you need to get into that flow, feel that comfort where you can get some depth now into the ball game.
And that's off the lead foot of Reynolds. Second free pass. So for Texas, the road to Super Regionals started at 9-9 overall. That really links up the start of Big 12 play and also the passing of Augie Garrido. So they were motivated, playing for his honor, for his legacy in life. Sweep the Austin Regional, outscoring Texas Southern, Texas A&M, and Indiana by 16 runs. But also winning against the Hoosiers in dramatic fashion. Bases loaded, 1 out. Chase Sugar comes in to get the final 2 outs. But this has been a different team since a questionable start.
Well, I think guys on this team found some roles. You look at the Golden Eagles on the other side, they found a role with Evie. When Evie moved into the rotation, that was a turning point of their year.
Yeah.
That started the 28-game winning streak for the Golden Eagles as well. So every team has a certain point where it makes the transition.
DJ Petrunski fouls it off.
Yeah, you can go from we have some talent here to a good team, or you can make the transition the other way too, and turn south. But both these teams had good turning points in the middle of their season.
Yeah, Nick Dye was one of the stud starting pitchers that had electric stuff for the Golden Eagles. He went down with a broken arm, and they turned to Evie after that, who started the year coming out of the bullpen. And he really brought stability, not just to the rotation, but this program as well. For Texas, though, it was a brutal non-conference schedule, and David Pierce knew that it potentially could be a make-or-break type of non-conference schedule, and it ended up making them in a way that I don't think he necessarily saw, as right in the mitt of Evie, there's 1 and 2, fantastic double play, a little leather flashing from the starter for Tennessee Tech.
Well, I like that he did not panic. Evie took his time. Ball was right back at him. It's just as hard as it can be hit. And Marcus does a nice job of just setting his feet. Watch him wait on Garza, the shortstop. He gets right here, wait. Okay, you're there. Good feed. 1-6-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend.
Brings up Tate Shaw. And back to the schedule of Texas. It ended up making them a better team by seeing that adversity early on and seeing the level of competition they played. Road trip to LSU, Arkansas,
4 games set at
Stanford.
4 games set at home against Stanford, and then 2 midweek games in Fayetteville, which will be hosting a super later today.
And like Tennessee Tech, one of the top power hitting teams in college baseball. First time that David Pierce, in his 7-year career as a head coach, has made it to this level. Super Regionals. 2 wins away from Omaha. It would be a first for him. It would be a first for Coach Braga at Tennessee Tech. As the Golden Eagles, the first team ever from the Ohio Valley Conference to reach the Super Regional round.
You know, both of these clubs, if you started the beginning of the year, would say, you think both these clubs will be in a super regional? I don't think very few people in America would have said yes. So early part of this game, you sort of feel both teams trying to feel their way around a little bit.
Well, Evie feeling it there, striking out Tate Shaw and getting that 1-6-3 double play. This just the next step on the road to Omaha. Golden Eagles trying to get there for the first time ever. One. Vogue Lindo here with Keith Borland in Austin, Texas. Tennessee Tech in town, trying to do what they did in Oxford and pull off the upset. The mascot is the Awesome Eagle. It's not a golden eagle or just a regular eagle. It's an awesome eagle. 3-time rifle national champs, back-to-back-to-back in 1980, 82.
That's a good shooter right there.
And in Cookeville, Tennessee, that's where they call home. And that is hometown.
Might be a connection here.
Of the College Football Hall of Famer, Mack Brown. His older brother, Watson, still calls Cookeville home, as he was the head coach for the Golden Eagles football program for 9 years. And there is Matt Braga, head coach at Tennessee Tech. Really, he's got some history in the building here.
He does. He came down, was a player with University of Kentucky. Just love his energy at the ballpark. He was so much fun to spend time with yesterday.
Played here in the regional round in 1993. Took on Texas in a game the Longhorns won 8-3. And talking to him, though, his regional was highlighted by watching the Texas legend Brooks Kieschnick hit one over the batter's eye in center field. That's the thing he wanted to talk about the most.
Well, it's what you always have, little things that jump out when you get the opportunity to play in a regional. That's the one thing he can remember. He's had a lot of players and a lot of coaches. He's done an outstanding job. His 15th year at Tennessee Tech.
They were 13-42 in his first full season. 18 and 36 the next. He credits administration for sticking with him and letting him build. Base knock up the middle from Nick Osborne. Second single given up by Kingham.
From top to bottom, 1 through 9, these guys do a really good job of getting the barrel of the bat to the ball. And boy, you can just see Osborne right here. 2 strikes, 2 big swings, dropped the head. Just stopped his front side, head comes down and through the baseball, just squared it up for a leadoff single. Was he fun to visit with yesterday as well?
We've got some stories with Nick Osborne. He had to man right field in Oxford, and the fans were onto him. It all started as Colin Harris steps into the box in warm-ups, as one of his warm-up throws sailed to his partner that he was throwing with in right field and ended up hitting a spectator in the stands. And so they already didn't like him after that. Then somehow—
It was accidental now.
It was accidental, yes. But somehow they found out all sorts of information. For instance, that he likes to put peanut butter in his oatmeal. He said never once has he ever put on Facebook, on Twitter,
any
on
social
Instagram,
media,
anything about peanut butter and oatmeal, yet they knew. Somehow they found out in right field that he doesn't pay his cable bill.
His roommate.
His roommate does. He handles groceries. Somehow they found that information along with the name of his ex-girlfriend, and he did not hear the end of it.
That's a part of the game. That's what makes these collegiate playoffs and these trips to these different universities and different ballparks across America. You got 16 teams vying to get their ticket to Omaha.
Not gonna lie though, next time I have oatmeal, probably putting some peanut butter in it. Harris to center field. Tate Shaw has it for the first out. I mean, that's some next level detail. He does not know how those fans got that information, but somehow they did. He had the last laugh, however. Pitched the final 3 innings to close out that final elimination game. He was the one celebrating on the mound. Number 9 hitter, John Hamm. Pretty good when your number 9 guy has 13 long flies and 62 RBI. He fouls it off himself.
Kingham continues to use that good sinker. Talk about the tilt. Gets a lot of balls pounded into the ground. When he's pitching well, he's ahead, and he gets a lot of ground balls.
Has not been probably the season that Kingham expected to have, but even with his hiccups this year, the consistent has been going deep in games and battling. Hamm swings through it, and it's 0-2.
Good breaking ball right there. Excellent location with it. Hitting his rhythm and timing, and you can see Hamm's way out in front of that breaking ball that time.
Runner in motion, right past the glove of Reynolds. And Osborne will stay at second.
Osborne got such a tremendous jump. Kingham did not look at him, and it really disrupted everything on the field as that time got jammed at Hamm. And Reynolds, he wasn't sure what's happening, so he sort of leans forward because you can see the runner going with no throw, sort of didn't move his feet that there. Ryan Reynolds, defensively, one of the best defensive third basemen in America, though.
He typically makes that play.
Yeah, he does. He just got his feet tangled up, lost his feet. To be a great fielder, Lowell, you've heard me say it many times, you've got to have great feet. Didn't use his feet that time.
So 3 singles now for Tennessee Tech, 2 this inning by the number 7 and number 9 hitters, and it's back to the top in Alex Jr.
Alex Jr. has not hit into a ground ball double play in 262 at-bats.
That's ridiculous how good that is.
Ridiculous number. That tells you he can get down the line.
Yeah, he can fly. This is their top speedster. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was back in the first inning. Solid power numbers, 7 home runs, 35 driven in. For the guy that has hit leadoff in every game for the Golden Eagles. And it's 2-0.
About 8,000 fans thought that was a strike right there. Good hitters count coming right now. This is one where you can zone it out in one spot if you're Junior.
So he strikes out a lot, especially for a leadoff hitter. 55 strikeouts, but he balances that with drawing a ton of walks. 14th nationally with 52 walks.
That's nearly a 1-to-1 ratio. Well, that, even though you have some strikeouts, that's still a good ratio.
And he'll have to come back and get his bat because he ain't done yet.
At the next level, I would say this next pitch is going to be a strike. This level, not so much.
And why is that?
Umpires at the next level have memories like elephants.
That was a borderline show up.
Yeah.
3-1 delivery from Nolan Kingham. And that misses high, so we have the bases loaded, 1 out for Benny Kalevahea. For more coverage of the Division I baseball regionals and interactive brackets, go to ncaa.com. Only the 3rd walk issued by the Texas pitching staff in the NCAA championships this year. Had 2 in the Austin Regional. Loaded for the number 2 hitter.
And there's
Osborne on 3rd.
Certain at-bats low in a game that are big at-bats. First one we've had in this ball game is right now.
2 singles and a walk. The reason Osborne, Ham, and Junior are on board. And it's 0-2. Kalevahea 4 for 9 with the bases loaded this season. So been there, done that in this situation for the senior catcher. To right field, it gets past McKenzie. 1 is on the board. Here comes Ham. The throw to the plate, not in time. And the Golden Eagles, with the response, they take the lead 2-1.
Kingham trying to go back. Just let the ball tail right back over the plate. An excellent job of hitting with 2 strikes. Ball's right over the plate, stays inside it. Drives it the other way. Big at bat right there. And Tennessee Tech with the lead. Just outstanding bat control. Well, I tell you what, offensively, this is a good offensive club, and you cannot pitch in the middle of the plate, even with 2 strikes against them, as they can hit the ball out of the ballpark. But that was impressive right there. There was nothing in that that had to do with power. It was just good, solid approaches at the plate.
And you're talking about 4 singles, so not even really flexing the muscle with the slugging percentage. 10 runs per game. They lead the nation. 9 players hitting .310 or better. 7 players in double-digit home runs, and 5 players have driven in 60. So now we're at the power portion of the lineup, starting with Stroshine. The only guys starting that don't have double-digit long shots are Junior and Kalevahea. Now this is the 2-time OVC Player of the Year in Kevin Stroshine, who grounded out his first time up.
Hey, all 4 hits with 2 strikes.
Chop foul.
There are times when you can be overly aggressive within the strike zone.
Remember, Coach Brackett told us yesterday about their two-strike approach.
Yeah, they run a drill in every workout. He said our last 15 or 20 minutes is up close with a coach, and you've got an 0-2 or a 1-2 count.
They call it late timing. Borrowed that from Skip Burtman, LSU legend. And they even stress so many players are so afraid to get to a two-strike count that they end up chasing with one strike.
Or get overly aggressive early in counts and go out pitches outside the zone. They're going to be 0-2 again. This is one of the best young hitters I've seen in the country.
Still can't figure out why he was not drafted.
Strong, solid approach at the plate.
A swing and a miss. This two-strike count ends with the punch out for Kingham.
That's doing a nice job to come back for Nolan Kingham. There's times that you have to answer. You made a mistake, 0-2. You come back and you make 3 really good pitches to get a big strikeout. Third of the game. So you got a tough customer here.
Back-to-back semifinalist for the Dick Hauser Trophy. Just got through one of them. Now here's Chase Chambers. Ball one outside for Kingham. Speed of Junior on third base. Kalevahea on first. This team does not get many runners in motion.
Excellent power into left center. At times you got a crowd. That's where he wants it. He got a ball out over the plate. That's where he's really effective. Got great power into left center. Really gap to gap. If you're going to go in there, though, with a guy that can hit like this guy, you better get it in there. Don't leave it over the plate.
He was the most outstanding player of the Oxford Regional, going 7 for 15 with 2 home runs, driving in 6. No one in America has driven in more runs than Chase Chambers. Clemens playing a deep second base and makes the play. But it is Benny Kalevahea delivering for the Golden Eagles, a team that has had fantastic responses all season long, especially in the postseason, does it again. It's 2-1 Tennessee Tech. Buckle up. Still a lot of baseball to be played here in Austin.
ESPN Plus.
Welcome back to Austin, Texas. Tennessee Tech up on the Longhorns 2-1 here in the first game of the Austin Super Regional. You need to win 2 to advance to Omaha. Jake McKenzie leading off for the Longhorns. Senior from Dallas, who recently graduated with a degree in petroleum engineering. Rifled to left field, down fair. McKenzie looking for extra bases, and he's got them. Stay hot, Jake McKenzie. He is now 6 for 13 in the NCAAs.
Well, he did a nice job working the count. Evie was 6 out of 9, first 9 hitters coming to the plate, getting ahead for strike 1. Well, he missed 2-0. You know fastball's coming. McKenzie did a nice job getting the barrel going. Rips it down the left field line. Now you got to do exactly what you saw your opponent do. You get in RBI situations, get him over, get him in. Little things win postseason baseball games.
You're looking for a bunt here from David Hamilton?
Yeah, and I would test it. I'd bunt for a base hit on the first one.
Instead, Hamilton swings. It's pretty much the same thing as a sac bunt. That moves over McKenzie to third base, and there's one down.
Solid at bat. If you're not bunting, you've got to pull the ball as a left-handed hitter. Hamilton did his job right there. Infield will be back. Ellis, his second at bat, is doubled already in the ballgame.
2 base hits for the Longhorns, both doubles to left field, keeping Colin Harris busy.
It's a good offensive club Texas has. Its slugging percentage is good. They can pound out extra base hits.
Back to situational hitting, though. So many great offenses evaluated by how you do right here. Runner on third, less than 2 outs.
Well, good offensive clubs score runs. You know, how do you score runs? Well, right now, you double, get him over, get him in.
Okay, that's it.
Now, this is when you got to be really good right now as a hitter. You got to spread out, get up on the bat a little bit. A ground ball to short or second ties the game. So you've got to put yourself in a position right here where you cannot strike out. You've got to make contact.
The Rocket beating the heat. His son, Cody Clemens, on deck. First, Ellis down 0-2, and fights it off to foul it off. Into the smattering of purple and gold down the left field line.
And there's not one fan here that's not enjoying this little bit of break from a cloud right now, because it's hot.
Well, so the Rocket himself, you have the cold towel over his head. To center field, this will be deep enough to score McKenzie. Jr. is on it, and we have a tie ball game. Longhorns, that complete offensive approach, manufacturing a run.
That's just really well done. Work to count for McKenzie. Get him over, get him in. Get right back in the ballgame. It makes it so simple. And it all starts with the extra base hit.
Here's a guy that has delivered plenty of them. Cody Clemens, a finalist for both the Golden Spikes and the Dick Hauser. Having one of the all-time great seasons here at the University of Texas, which is saying something, because there's been some all-time great seasons, like a few that you had here on the 40 acres.
He's had a magnificent year, there's no doubt about it. And part of it has been his health. It takes a while, you know, he's a left-handed hitter. Lowell had Tommy John surgery on his bottom hand, and your bottom hand is so important to power and everything. So he's healthy, he's removed from that. He's made outstanding adjustment to left-handed pitching, and I think that's been a major jump. And in the last part, confidence as a hitter is so important, and he got off to a good start, and that confidence just grew and grew and grew. And I'm telling you, from the 1st of April, I don't know that there's been a better player in America.
We saw Roger Clemens. He is hands-off when it comes to his sons in terms of their baseball development.
Yeah, but they all have baseball IQs because they've been around the game.
Well, Roger Clemens used to tell his son Cody, when he was with the Yankees and Cody was about 7 years old, hey, Cody, go talk to him. And he would point to the captain, Derek Jeter.
Wait, where's his number?
Cody says that Jeter was the teammate of his father's that he was closest with and learned the most from. Big brother Casey and the Toronto Blue Jays minor league organization. But Cody Clemens, now the highest pick Clemens outside of Roger. That family's history. Was able to get a heads up for the Tigers that it looked like they were going that way with their first pick of the 3rd round. So he was able to join his family and share that moment with him when everything was finalized and he became a professional baseball player.
And this will tell you a whole lot about the mindset for the coaching staff. Tennessee Tech, what are they going to do 3-2 here? Do they go to a break ball or are they challenging?
16th pitch to Clemens today. and that is driven to right field. Give him another. Cody Clemens has done it again.
Not much you can say other than he has just been sensational. They challenged him with a high fastball. That's going right into. Most left-handed hitters are low ball hitters. Cody Clemens is not like most left-handed hitters.
The son of the Rocket with the missile for his 22nd home run of the season. That's the most for the Longhorns since Kyle Russell hit 28 in 2007. Circus catch made by John Hamm. But that was the moment that the Texas faithful were waiting for. And it's not just his power numbers. It's the moments in which Clemens has delivered. Another critical situation home run. And Texas now has the lead in Game 1 of the Austin Super Regional. We're now joined by the back-to-back Ohio Valley Conference Coach of the Year, Matt Braga. And Coach, let's start by talking about your team's resiliency. You've been here before. Clemens just hits that home run, makes it 3-2. And the reaction among your guys in the dugout is what?
We're going to fight. We'll fight this thing. We're going to fight. That's what these guys do. They fight. And we'll continue to do that. And this is a great group of young men. I love these guys.
Matt, one of the things you told us yesterday, y'all really have a good approach. And 2 strikes today, y'all been outstanding with 2 strikes.
Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, last inning, I think we had 4 solid hit balls with 2 strikes, and 3 went for base hits. So that was good. That's what we want out of our guys. And again, that kind of goes back to that fighting mentality. That's who these young men are.
Coach, we'll let you get back to it.
Thanks, guys.
He is a superstar in the making. Great energy, great personality, and the proof is in the pudding. It's not like it's just been this season when Tennessee Tech has been a flash in the pan offensively. They have emerged and developed into one of the best offensive programs in America.
You just look at, and a lot of it is the power of positive thinking is so important. And the other part about that is there are so many hitters, especially young hitters that are watching right now and wanting to play, get themselves into college and go to Omaha and play. We all wanted to. Got to be comfortable with 2 strikes. And I think that approach, you can see it again right there. Just fight off the tough pitches and work till you get a pitch you can handle. They're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. And I tell you, there's very few hitters in America that like to have 2 strikes on them.
The guy at the plate really doesn't seem to mind, Trevor Putzig. And that's why. Ellis back in front of the track. That's the first out. Let's go back to Cody Clemens and that home run and his candidacy to be eventually potentially crowned the National Player of the Year, Golden Spikes or Dick Hauser. It's not necessarily the numbers, it's when he has provided those numbers. More often than not, his biggest plays have been in the biggest games when the game is on the line.
Well, he's just had an incredible year. There's no doubt about it.
Just foul right past the bag.
The line that I think that I like to use comes from, God bless his soul, Sparky Anderson, when he said, you know, great players are great when the game's on the line. And that's exactly what Cody Clemens has done for Texas this season.
Walk-off home run to take down TCU to give them a shot to win the Big 12 title outright the following day. Has 2 grand slams this season as well. And there's the cutout out in left field. Meanwhile, it's a 2-1 count to David Garza. Don't forget about the defense. It's been fantastic for Clemens as well. Hamilton can see he slams his fist to the turf, because that's another play we've seen him make in the past. But with the speed of Garza, that's going to be tough regardless. So now,
if you're a middle infielder, you see fastball in. That ball was supposed to be in. It got more in the middle of the plate. So you can see, as a shortstop, you can see where the pitch is supposed to be. Your coaches say you don't lean, you want to be balanced. But sometimes you think that pitch is in, he's going to pull it. It's going to be to my right. And I think Hamilton got fooled a little bit because he was a little bit leaning more to the hole instead of up the middle and couldn't get to that one.
Brings up Nick Osborne. So no doubt, Cody Clemens has fantastic numbers, but there's a number of these Golden Eagles. Nick Osborne, 12 home runs, 48 driven in, that have outstanding numbers as well. It's 0-2. So if you took a look at Cody Clemens' numbers for the year, and you place those numbers among those of Tennessee Tech, he'd be 4th in average, 5th in hits. He would lead them in home runs and be 8th in runs. Says a lot about Cody Clemens, says a lot about the dudes that make up this Golden Eagles lineup. And that skips.
That is a great stop. That's a 58-footer out in front of the plate with spin on it.
But right now for Tennessee Tech, feels like early on in a prize fight, working the jab. Jab, jab, jab. All 5 hits have been singles. Waiting to land the straight left for you southpaws out there. Hasn't happened to this point. Kingham with strikeout number 4.
Dynamite breaking ball right here. It was set up by the high fastball that Osborne couldn't catch up to. Goes back to the slider. Has good depth to it. Not only goes away from Osborne, but has that good depth going down. Gets the strikeout.
First pitch strike and a throw behind the runner. McKenzie puts a tag on. I believe his foot came dangerously close to coming off that base. And that's what McKenzie is arguing.
Snap throw back to first. You can see McKenzie as he goes back. The foot goes on the back. He's there early, but does it come off right there?
Oh, but was the tag still applied?
Not going to get the call.
First base umpire, Heath Jones.
Young base runners, go back in sliding where you stay on the bag. You know you were going to be safe. If he just dives back, puts his hand on the bag, he's safe.
Is that something also that McKenzie needs to hold that tag longer?
Well, it's hard to do because your balance, now think about it, Lowell, your balance is going to be so much when you move and rotate to put the tag, it's going to throw you a little bit off balance. It's hard to keep that tag on there.
Colin Harris 0 for 1 with the fly out to center field. It's 0-2. Nolan Kingham looking like a different pitcher since David Pierce made that visit.
I told him he got to use more pitches. That was the point I was going to make. And all of a sudden, he's got a mix. He's not fastball only.
Through the left side, past Hamilton and Reynolds, and a 2-out single from Colin Harris.
But when you go to the breaking ball, where do you got to keep it? If you got 2 strikes, you want it away. This was in the middle of the plate again. It had some break to it, but it broke right back into the middle. And Harris, this is an offense that they are not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Difference has been the extra base hits. Golden Eagles doubling up the Longhorns with 6 hits, all of them single, whereas Texas, they got 2 doubles and a home run. 9-hole hit him. John Hand, 2 on, 2 outs. Kingham works him outside and misses. It's 1-0.
in the 9th spot in the order. John Hamm's driven in 62 runs on the year.
Incredible.
Got an RBI situation right here.
Again, staying away. This will be pitch number 70 coming up for Nolan Kingham.
We got a prize fight tonight, and a good one. This is what we've seen so far. This is punch and counter punch.
Waiting for the haymaker. The power punch from Tennessee Tech. Coming back inside to get the call, makes it 2-1.
Good velocity that time, 93 miles an hour with some sink to it. Already 70 pitches in the ball game for Nolan Kingham.
Let me repeat myself.
And from 2-0 to back to 2-2. Ham thought that was inside. Just south of 100. Feels like 100 when you include the humidity. Kingham, just staring down John Hamm on his trot down the first baseline. Safe to say he's fired up. We're going to talk to his head coach, David Pierce, when we return from Austin, Texas. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One here in Austin, Texas. Game number 1 of the Austin Super Regional. They call themselves Occupy Left Field. They are here to support David Pierce and the Texas Longhorns. And Coach, we talked so much about Cody Clemens, his power numbers, but to you, what has made this season special about Clemens?
I mean, he's done so many things from the start of the season to now, and he just continues to do it with great concentration and great focus towards his team. I mean, he's just been incredible. I hope he keeps doing it.
David, you went out, you visited with Nolan, and what I saw immediately out there was a mix again.
Yeah.
Is that more of a situation you went out and says, hey, now, we got to use everything in our arsenal?
Well, he's just leaving the 2-strike pitch in the middle of the plate and giving him opportunities. So he's just got to finish that pitch to move to the next one or get him on a good, solid chase breaking ball or sinker in, or if we expand. He's gotten burned a couple of times just on 2-strike pitches.
Coach, we appreciate the time. We'll let you get back to work.
Okay, thanks.
Mason Hibbler leading off the bottom of the 4th. Texas up on Tennessee Tech 3-2, courtesy of the solo home run by Cody Clemens. An inning ago. Hibbler started off the season as the second baseman with Cody Clemens playing third. DJ Petrinsky at first. They reshuffled the lineup. Hibbler went out to left field and has been solid defensively. Started off the year hot offensively. Numbers have tapered off. But he is a grit guy. Coach Pierce truly loves the way and the aggressiveness that he plays with.
Now, the last 2 frames, Texas has found a way to get their leadoff hitter aboard. It will be so important. Something we'll watch this entire regional if you can set the table early.
Fouled back. Keith Borland almost with a chance.
That's the kind you want, though. That wasn't too bad.
No, you could have handled that. I may have even been able to handle that. Let's not get carried away.
A lot of them come back here that are hot.
Those are the ones I jump behind you. Full count. And just reaching out to stay alive. Marcus Evie. 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. He gets the ball over the ace, Travis Moss, for game number 1. Moss will go tomorrow. Give him an extra day's rest. Full count, nobody out. And Hibbler is down looking. Evie with his third strikeout of the afternoon. Let's check in with Allison Williams in the studio.
Lowell, we've sent our first team to Omaha. The Tar Heels get it done against Stetson, but not without some drama. This is the bottom of the ninth, tying run at the plate, but Stetson's Brooke Wilson flies out to center field. North Carolina holds on to win 7-5. They are back in the College World Series for the first time since 2013.
Thank you, Allison. So team number one, as that one runs in close to Ryan Reynolds. Almost hit for the second time. What was that like for you when you realized you were going to Omaha for the first time?
Well, when I came to the University of Texas, they had made trips 3 out of the last 4 years. So it sort of seemed like a rite of passage that you felt like that you were here, you were going to go. But then to make that trip the first time and see the atmosphere, never seen anything quite like Rosenblatt at the time. In 73 when we went, it was a special time. Saw some great players that you played against.
David Garza. And there's 2 down. So North Carolina, the first team to advance. They take down Stetson in one of those rare matchups that we have this year with 2 national seeds going head-to-head. Just below them, it's Oregon State and Minnesota with the Beavers a 1-0 game lead there. Vandy and Mississippi State.
Well, what a game that was yesterday.
Bulldogs winning on a walk-off again. Just like they did to eliminate Florida State in the regional round. Same culprit as well. So the SEC with 6 teams ties the record for the most from one conference in the Super Regionals. But all 6 of those teams are going head-to-head with another SEC team. So that means only 3 will get in, but they're guaranteed to have 3 in. Inside to DJ Petrinsky for ball 2.
I'm going to give some props here to Evie. I really, he has been struggling. His last 3 outings have been a struggle, but he's trailing right here. He's given up the home run. But he really has done a nice job of mixing pitches and not allowed Texas to build a big inning. They've had the doubles that have come in to score, and then, of course, the solo homer by Clemens.
This Tennessee Tech pitching staff got some undersized guys with fantastic stuff. Ethan Roberts, another one of them. We'll see him in those critical situations. Built along the same way as Evie is. Garza and Junior.
Communication.
Yep. Slow speed rub out in center field. But Tennessee Tech gets out of it. Down by 1. Do they have the offense to get back in this? Of course they do. You're talking about the top offense, numbers-wise, in college baseball. Back to the top of the lineup when we return. Golden Eagles down by 1 in Austin. Mo Galindo here with Keith Moreland in Austin, Texas. The Golden Eagles ready to fly high. Watch out for that curve. Got a nice tailgate going on out in center field. So Tennessee Tech has traveled well from Cookeville, Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Predominantly a burnt orange crowd, as it sold out in about 90 minutes. Would have been sold out in about an hour, but there was a minor glitch in the computer system. Not too shabby, though, to sell out a place like this in an hour and a half. Tennessee Tech really unfazed by this environment. Alex Jr. leads off. They went to Oxford, Mississippi, known to be one of the most, I guess, festive, should we say, atmospheres in college baseball. They are vocal as well, and they handled it like champs, becoming the champs of that regional. I mean, to think what they did to play the winner's bracket game against Ole Miss, lose by 1 run in that game, stave off elimination, beat Missouri State, and then come back and on Monday have to beat Ole Miss not once but twice to advance. It's incredible. And then that first game, it was a no-doubter. First game, they beat them 15-5. Then they come back after a little bit of a rest. And in that all-deciding game, take down the Rebels 3-2. Some nice shades as well for the Golden Eagles. It's a group that likes to have some fun. And why not, right? It's college baseball.
Big pitch to start the inning right here on a full count.
Even tailgating in the new parking garage here in Austin. Three plate appearances for Alex Jr. He's seen 18 pitches.
80th pitch of the ball game coming from Kingham.
And that's a walk. His second of the afternoon, both of them issued to Alex Jr. Next stop on the F1 circuit is the Heineken Canadian Grand Prix. Sunday at 1:30 Eastern on ABC and streaming live on the ESPN app, so you can watch from anywhere. Lewis Hamilton has won this race 6 times, including the last 3 years, the Canadian Grand Prix. Coverage presented by Mother's Polish. So are you going with Lewis Hamilton?
He's won the last 3, and 6 times he's won there. I would think he knows the track.
Good pick. Here's Kalevahea, number 2 hitter. Drove in the 2 runs for the Golden Eagles.
All right, so this is the scenario right here. It's a war day, there's no doubt. And you're taking a lot of energy, the emotions of pitching in the super regional game. Hot on the field. This will be your 82nd pitch.
Right over the glove of David Hamilton. And that is hit number 7. All of them still singles for Tennessee Tech. The second from Kalevahea this afternoon.
Missing with the breaking ball, and it comes back right here with the fastball. Just does a nice job getting his hands inside, getting the barrel to the ball. Got it a little bit in on him. All of a sudden, great opportunity with the meat of this order coming to the plate for Tennessee Tech.
He's got a knack for delivering and spraying singles to all parts of the field. They call those singles Benny specials. Even when he doesn't hit the hard, it somehow finds a way to drop in.
That's because he can get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
So there's an art there. It's the approach as well. He ain't getting lucky.
I don't think bunt's in order here.
Not with Stroshine at the plate.
Texas anticipating it, as they had their guys in on the corners, but
just 12 sack bunts for Tennessee Tech all year.
Listen, this is their power strength right in the middle. All of them got power.
Yeah.
I don't think bunt's in order here.
Stroshine struggled in Oxford, just 3 of 21. But you are talking about the OVC Player of the Year. Outside to make it 2-0.
Dangerous pitch coming.
Cameron Fields and Parker Joe Robinson getting warm in the Texas bullpen out there in right field. Big cut from Stroshine, cannot connect.
He was trying to hit that pitch to Dallas. That was a big hack right there, 2-0.
That's a 3-home run game this season. Came back early in the year in February. And another hardy hack.
Sometimes, though, you can overhack. You get too much in it. Front side pulling off of it right there. It's pulling his head off the ball. Now he's got to make contact, have that good 2-strike approach.
But this is where Kingham has struggled, putting guys away with 2 strikes. First 4 hits of the game for Tennessee Tech, all in this situation. 2 strike counts. And that is strike 3. It gets away from Petrinsky, so it allows the runners to move up to second and third.
5th strikeout of the game, but the ball gets by DJ. Takes the double play out of order. Now you have an open base as Chambers comes to the plate as a left-handed hitter. This is that point when, as a head coach or pitching coach, you're saying, all right, let's be careful here. I have an open base. We walking, we still have the double play in order. This is an excellent defensive team in Texas, turning the double play especially.
National leader in RBI with 82 on the year. Chase Chambers. That's on a line. Tate Shaw going back. He doesn't make the catch. 1 run will score. Here comes Kalevahea. And Tennessee Tech, off the bat of Chase Chambers, have taken the lead back. Trading blows here in Austin, Texas. That was well struck by Chambers.
But he was trying to go around him, Lowell, by starting him out with a changeup. He starts him first pitch, changeup, stays up, and Chambers shows you his power right there. Catches it, Shaw going back, leaps, had a shot at it right as he was trying to make contact with the ball or catch the ball. He makes contact with the wall. 2-run double. First extra base hit of the ball game for Tennessee Tech.
Matter of time until the Golden Eagles broke through in that category. And Chase Chambers delivers again. He has been a constant for this Tennessee Tech lineup. Not out of the woods here with Trevor Putzig. Putzig, originally from Louisville. One of the many players on this team that plays with a chip on their shoulder because they got snubbed by the Power 5, wanted to play with the Cardinals or the Kentucky Wildcats. At least one of those programs thought he was too small, too slow, not enough pop in the bat. Tennessee Tech, his only D1 offer.
He loves to do the other things away from the ballpark too, Lowell. That was the point that got me. There's not many young men of his age that are full bird pilots. He's got his pilot's license. He loves to fly. He doesn't know what he's going to use it at some point later on, but always wanted to do it. Did it through high school. You know, spending time and effort to go out, and this is an important, you can see.
I think his most memorable trip, though, is when he took Nick Osborne, his teammate, for a flight. Nick told us that he had a full-fledged panic attack, had trouble breathing while Putzig was flying.
That's a big visit. After the last visit from David Pierce, Nolan Kingham really settled down and into the mix and probably went through his best stretch of the ball game throwing the ball. It's going to have to here.
Fields and Robinson continuing to warm. 2-0 to Putzig. And there's the first strike to make it 2-1.
You're into June. These guys have started an awful lot of ball games. So you don't look at the 100-pitch mark like you do back maybe in February and March. You look at 110 now, 115 being that level.
To right field. Ellis on the run. Key's there. Chambers will not have a chance to tag up. Back to Allison Williams in studio.
Hey there, Lowell. Got an update on what's going on in a different part of the Longhorn State. Duke taking on Texas Tech. Top of the 5th, Zach Cohn for Duke with his second double of the day. This one would score 2, giving the Blue Devils a 3-0 lead over the Red Raiders in the 5th.
Allison, thank you. It's another one of those super regionals, kind of like what we have here in Austin, where Texas Tech thought they were about to go on the road to take on Georgia, only to have Duke beat them on the final day of that regional in 2 elimination games. When the Blue Devils won, with Texas Tech being the national seed, the Red Raiders had the chance to host.
The Blue Devils are really swinging the bat well. You ended up winning that regional Athens and off to a good start up in Lubbock.
Philpisa hitting to right field. This gets down. Another run will score. Chambers plowing his way home, and that is a double off the bat of David Garza. So they waited all the way until the 5th to get that extra base hit, and they have 2 doubles to make it 5-3.
Get a ball away from him. Really nice job of going with it the other way, and we're going to have a pitching change here. Out over the plate, didn't try to pull it, hit it in the right spot, then good hustle as Ellis makes a nice play to make this a close play at second.
Cam Fields will be the new pitcher for David Pierce and the Texas Longhorns. He makes his way to the mound in the afternoon. Is done for Nolan Kingham, as perhaps he will leave the mound here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field for the last time in a Texas uniform. Tennessee Tech, the bats getting hot. Golden Eagles up 5-3 here in the 5th. June 16th on ESPN. Casey Mize got the start against Brady Singer in Gainesville. Matchup of 2 first-round pick pitchers, and Singer leads the Gators to the win. Texas Tech and Duke underway with the Blue Devils holding the lead. Arkansas and South Carolina later. And here in Austin, Tennessee Tech with the lead 5-3 over Texas is Garza. First pitch, stolen base, as Cam Fields checks in.
You got a young freshman, hasn't made a ton of appearances. He did not turn and look at Garza, and Garza got a running lead from second base, never looked back. And Hamilton was out of position. Good thing the pitch wasn't a strike, and Osborne swung at it, as Texas was out of position that time.
Cam Fields, uber-athletic freshman from Garland, Texas, 6'2", 175, had double-digit offers to play quarterback on the D1 level. Many of those in the Power 5 conferences.
Good slider, fastball, touches the low 90s. Really understanding and learning how to pitch. His problem, if he's had a problem this year, his ERA is still very good, has been his command, 19 walks.
Tried to speed up his delivery to help him out. 1-2, and down on strikes is Nick Osborne. But Tennessee Tech breaks through with 3. They lead by 2. Just one day he could have a teammate in the Mets and Chase Chambers, an 18th round pick by the Mets, who in the top of the 5th had the breakthrough blow that the Golden Eagles were looking for. A 2-run double to center field off the wall to make it 4-3. Tennessee Tech then added another run, padding it a little bit. They got the 2-run edge here as we start the bottom of the 5th.
Marcus Evie's career high low is 7 innings of work. He's done a nice job. He's now at that 70 pitch mark. He's been staked with a 2-run lead. Big inning for him right here.
Popped up by Shaw to center field. Alex Jr. got it. So Conforto, you'll see him in action for the Mets. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell at Citi Field. It's the Yankees and the Mets. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on ESPN with baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown, and is also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. So your first baseman for Tennessee Tech, draft pick by the Mets, and the guy on the mound, Marcus Evie, 20th round pick of the New York Yankees. Jake McKenzie fouls it back. But this is also, it's no joke when it comes to the talent on this Tennessee Tech team. Ethan Roberts who is their closer / big moment pitcher. Travis Moss, who will go tomorrow. 4th and 7th round draft picks, respectively. David Pierce, the head coach of Texas, pointed out that Tennessee Tech had 2 pitchers go in the draft before any Texas pitchers were selected.
You look at Roberts, we haven't seen him yet. He is outstanding. Evie right now is doing everything he needed to do. He's scattered 3 hits in the ball game. He has given up the home run to Clemens, but you look at the scenario, he's given them exactly what they wanted at this point.
Yeah.
You know, he's not a guy that goes 9 innings. I mean, he moved into this starting rotation in the early part of the season.
74 pitches. That will not be strike 3. McKenzie did not go, and Evie misses outside.
He's staying in the stretch all the time right now. Just more comfortable. He's getting to his balance point. He's able to have better command as Evie. So he's just staying in the stretch.
Retired 5 straight since that Cody Clemens home run. McKenzie has his 2nd hit. Both to left field.
Nice job, front side down, just gets his hands inside, gets the barrel to the ball. That's a good bat for the graduate senior. I said earlier,
Yeah, we're talking
petroleum engineering.
about
he's
the
an
draft.
All-American. That's how good it is.
He had a great tweet. He said to all the Major League Baseball teams that were interested in drafting me, thank you, but I've decided to take my skills to an engineering firm in San Antonio. So he's already got his job lined up. First job will be at an engineering firm in San Antonio, and as soon as he is done with his Texas career,
He hopes that's
he will start on the job. Yeah, he hopes it's after a trip to Omaha. 7 of 14 since the start of the NCAA regionals. Top of the order for Texas, David Hamilton. Hamilton is 0 for 2. Has added a lot more pop this year. 5 home runs after failing to leave the yard as a freshman last season.
He's got outstanding speed. He's tough to double up.
Deceiving power. And that average from 218 as a freshman to north 300 coming into this game.
Big pitch for Evie right here. Does not want to go 3-1.
Low strike called. Make it 2-2.
You can live down there. You're going to have a ton of success.
Fouled out of play to left side. Off the food cart, back into play for the fans.
If you're Tennessee Tech, you did play in an outstanding environment at Ole Miss in the regional, but communication's so important, especially on fly balls. Communicate with each other, because most of the time they play, they can hear each other. In this environment, you cannot.
Coach Braga thought it cost him 3 runs in one of the games against Ole Miss. There was a relay from right field. John Hamm, the second base, got him. He could not hear 4-4-4. And the runner ended up scoring, being aggressive around third base. Said they should have had him by like 30 feet. Another guy ended up stealing third base. Teammates were telling the pitcher, step off, he's going, could not hear. And then there was a pass ball at home, and the catcher could not find the ball. He could not hear 1-1-1 for the first base side, 3-3-3 for third base, or back. We're straight back to the backstop. And that ultimately cost them a run. So it affected them here on the defensive side of things. McKenzie in motion. He'll have to go back as it's popped up. Let's check in with Allison Williams.
Well, guys, over in Lubbock, Texas Tech, the second best scoring team in Division I, starting to chip away at that Duke lead. It's Grant Little with 2 on, 2 out, and he puts up a shot off the outfield wall. 2 runs would score. Tech now trails by 1 in the 6th. Guys, back to you.
Allison, thank you. Not a surprise with Little, one of the top players in the Big 12 at the heart of that Texas Tech lineup. Him and Josh Young hitting 3-4 together.
He's right behind him.
That's Murderer's Row, Big 12 edition. Speaking of the Big 12, Matt Braga compared his team's offense to Big 12 football and said it's that fast-paced, high-scoring, fan-friendly type of baseball that they play. It is like the Big 12 plays in football. And it's working for the Golden Eagles. 52 wins on the year, most in college baseball. Cody Clemens on deck.
This is a big out. He gets to the plate in this inning. There's going to be at least 2 on if they don't score in front of him. Still excellent velocities. 91, 92 miles an hour.
Getting close to what has typically been the end of the run for Evie, as he is averaged on the year 5 1/3 innings pitched in starts. Only 4 of his starts as he's gone more than 6. Check swing, foul ball.
Does get a piece of it. Nice. Just gets a piece. The ball bounces out in front of the plate, but he just gets enough of it. Get a piece. Home plate umpire Baker says, yes, he did. And he made this call immediately. You can see right there, he put his hands up for a foul ball.
More than anything, I think I heard it. We had the levels cranked up in her headset. Awfully close though. 1-2. Delivery from Evie. Inside, and Kalebahea keeps it in front and keeps McKenzie over on first. 4 hits for the Longhorns, 2 doubles, a home run, and the single. And there is Mr. Big Time, Ethan Roberts. Critical situations, he comes in. And down looking is Duke Ellis. Marcus Evie doing the work. So we talk so much about the Golden Eagles offense, but Marcus Evie, get him something to talk about on the bump. Got a good fight here with your heavyweight, reigning champ, if you will, with Texas, a team that's been there, done that, against the upstart, the guy that no one really knows about, not ranked, but coming at you in Tennessee Tech. All these major numbers, you're looking at a Texas program with the most all time. Most trips to Omaha against a team that has never been to the hallowed grounds of college baseball. But if you're just flipping on, you're watching in a vacuum and you take name brand out of this, no idea that Tennessee Tech is a program lacking the history.
Not at the way they've approached it. They've been outstanding at the plate. Their 2-strike approach has been exceptional in today's ball game.
Travis Moss, who will start tomorrow, told us in our meeting with the Tennessee Tech players yesterday, they will win this Super Regional, and they will do it in 2 games. How about that for confidence?
He is a confident young man. Confident freshman and a guy that's very competitive on the mound for Texas as he's come into the game here. And Cam Fields got a big out to get out of the inning and a good start there.
So Cody Clemens with a solo home run in the third, is 22nd on the year. That gave Texas the 3-2 lead. The Golden Eagles from Tennessee Tech come back. They put up a 3-spot in the fifth. Chase Chambers, I mean, absolute ripped the ball to center field. Tate Shaw looked like he had a chance to make that catch, could not. 2 runs scored. They added another to get them to that 5-3 lead.
His 83rd and 84th RBI of the year.
Leading the nation. Those are big numbers.
Those are big numbers. Coach Pierce told us early in the year when he talked about Cam Fields, he said, you know, we got to bring him along. We're going to bring him along slow. But the one thing he shows every time he's gotten the opportunity, he likes to compete. I mean, he's a competitive young man. You can see it when he takes him out. He's got a lot different look on his face. He attacks the hitters.
Two-one to John Hamm. Make it 3-1. In the regionals, Texas Southern, Texas A&M, Indiana, just 2 earned runs allowed in 27th inning innings pitched. And today, numbers not quite as favorable as John Hamm draws the 1-out walk. I mean, Coach Pierce told us that the pitching they got was as good as you could have possibly asked for in the regional round. Chase Sugar started that first game against Texas Southern. Kingham came back. He was brilliant against Texas A&M. Blair Henley had a career performance in the deciding game against Indiana. Chase Sugar then had to come back and close what was a 1-run win for Texas to lock up their spot here in the Super Regionals. With Kingham's performance, as Junior looks at strike one, how much of it was due to what he was doing and how much credit do you give to Tennessee Tech?
Well, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Tennessee Tech with their 2-strike approach. Kingham had a tough time putting them away with 2 strikes, and then they would work counts to get a ball back in the middle of the zone, and they did a good job of getting the barrel on it, obviously with the 9 base hits already in the game.
4 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. No errors on the board for the Texas defense, but it has not been as good as it typically is. Ball got past Reynolds that he usually corrals and makes the play. Hamilton, a sliding attempt that we've seen him make in the past, and then that ball into center field. Most of the time, Tate Shaw catches that ball, even with the long run. And that's not at all to take credit away from Tennessee Tech, because they are the team here with 9 hits. And what do they do early on, especially 2 strike counts? Just spray the ball, looking single, single, single. They stood with it. That approach eventually led to bigger things, and now the extra base hits have started to pile up. 5 of the 9 hits with 2 strikes for Tennessee Tech.
This crowd is ready to explode. If they can get a double play ball and get something positive to come back, get the crowd back in it.
Hamilton on the run, he gets by him. And here comes Hamm to third base. Hibbler can't control it. And from at least 1 out to now runners on first and third. Would have been tough, especially with the speed of Junior, to get 2. That was probably out of the question.
David Hamilton's been one of the best shortstops in America over his first 2 years as a collegiate player. This is where he knew he had to hurry. He's going to first here, Lowell. He can't get an out at second, he doesn't think, and he knows with Alex Jr.'s speed, it was going to be tough to get an out, so he's trying to get around it. The ball stayed down. It didn't. He tried to get around it, didn't try to backhand it. just gets underneath him. Good base running, too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing this Golden Eagles club does well. They run the bases well.
Don't have the stolen base numbers, but they have the stellar base running. 8 errors for Hamilton in the last 13. It's a single and an E6. So just 1 down for Kalevahea, who's already driven in 2.
This may be the at-bat of the ballgame. Get something into the gap right here. You can separate yourself if you're Tennessee Tech.
Gotta say, after we watched Texas Tech last weekend in Lubbock, and we had 2 of the highest scoring teams in America in that regional with Texas Tech and with New Mexico State, Tennessee Tech certainly passes the eyeball test in terms of being legit to back up their offensive numbers.
Got 10 hits now on the board. Another one with 2 strikes. One good pitch and a double play ball, though, can sure change things right here.
Runner in motion, and there will not be a throw from Petrinsky as Alex Jr. takes second base. Only his 4th stolen base of the year.
He got a good jump. Takes the double play. Corners will be up. Texas is playing back in the middle. Now the infield comes up.
And Kalevahea wants time, former Washington State Cougar. Kalevahea, well-traveled. The stop at Lower Columbia College. In between his start at Washington State and his career here at Tennessee Tech.
Sawyer, the left-hander for Texas, is ready to go in the Texas bullpen, but I would think he will be for Chambers. Coach Pierce and his staff trying to match up as best they can.
Stroshine on deck, he's a righty. That is a walk. Bases loaded for Kevin Stroshine, 2-time OVC Player of the Year. He's a National Freshman of the Year back in 2016. Sharing those honors with a guy by the name of Seth Beer. Not bad for the Clemson Tigers. He's up after the pitching change with the Golden Eagles looking to add. Joints in Austin, Texas, and Tennessee Tech saying, hey, we know how to do a little slow smoking as well, cutting up the brisket before the start of this game. And I'm not gonna lie, that looks really good. But for Matt Braga, just a banana. Don't want to get that barbecue sauce all over the unit. New pitcher for the Longhorns, it's Josh Sawyer. Junior from San Angelo, Texas. He's had all sorts of arm issues, but has bounced back, and his most recent times out, he says he's been clocked up to 97.
Drafted in this week's draft as well. He's a guy right here. There are times when you need to throw a ground ball or a strikeout, and that's what he needs right here, is he's going to face a tough customer. Big at bat in this game, as we mentioned. Tennessee Tech with an opportunity to blow this thing open right here.
OVC Player of the Year. He's done it twice. Kevin Stroshine struck out twice and is grounded out. And the big break from Ham. The throw on time. Sawyer applies the tag. And Ham is out trying to take home.
You have more to do than just pitch when you're a pitcher. Ball gets away, but watch Sawyer recognizing right away, gets to the spot. Watch him put the tag down in front, right there. That is a gigantic out for Texas.
Still must get past Stroshine with runners on second and third. Chop to Reynolds, he drops back. And that does it. Could that be the turning point Texas was looking for? They still need more runs, but they have the guy coming up that can provide them quickly. Cody Clemens leading off, followed by Zach Zubia and Mason Hibbler. Bases loaded, one out, and nothing to show for it for the Gold Eagles. Sawyer applies the tag. That keeps it at a two-run game. Clemens with a junior season to remember. It will be his final in Austin, Texas, after becoming the first pick of the third round by the Tigers, adding more moments to a historic junior year with that home run. We saw back in the third inning, giving Texas the 3-2 lead. Tennessee Tech has come back with their prototypical answer, putting up 3 in the fifth inning. But Texas trying to build off that defensive momentum they got back with Josh Sawyer entering the game, bases loaded, one out. They were able to get Ham trying to score on a pass ball, and then got a ground out to third base. At what point?
That defensively can set a tone. You can change momentum defensively. Boy, that's a huge point right there.
So at what point, though, with Cody Clemens, do you just stay away from him? Not give him anything to hit. Just put him on.
You're seeing it right now, maybe, because these first 3 haven't been close.
And not giving him anything. With the 3-0 count, Clemens draws his second walk. He's been on board every time.
I would think we were at that point in the ball game. Marcus Eves has been good. He has scattered 4 hits in the game. He's limited the damage in a couple of times when Texas has had an opportunity to have a big inning. When you've got a guy, Ethan Roberts, in your bullpen that has been as good as he's been this season, especially over the last month, I did not think it would be long till we see Roberts maybe try to close this thing out.
Zubia has driven in a run. It was the first run of the game, sac fly to right field, and that will bring out Braga, and this could be that moment to bring in the competitive moment guy, as they call Ethan Roberts. And what that is really a situation like this. It's not necessarily a close. It's a competitive moment in the game. Basically, a turning point. When the game could be determined, that's when they like to go to Ethan Roberts.
He was spectacular in the elimination game against Ole Miss, where he got the start. He was really good at that point. Gave them what they needed on Monday to win that first elimination game against Ole Miss.
Went 7 2/3 there in his first start of the year, so he can stretch it out.
You always wonder, though, about the rebound from that. When you're a guy that's, 40, 35, 40, 50 pitch guy, and all of a sudden you get stretched out to 100, how does your body recover?
95 pitches from Evie. Breaking ball, ball 1. Career high for Evie is 107 pitches. He's closing in. 6 straight balls.
As a coach, you're looking at this scenario. If this is outside the zone, do you let him finish or do you go get him now?
Fantastic power at the plate with Zach Zubia. Sat out last season for Texas after transferring from Tulane to follow David Pierce. Also recovering from Tommy John surgery. Upstairs, and it's 3 balls, no strikes.
This crowd getting back into it now. Turning point, bases loaded, 1 out. Golden Eagles didn't score. Now they come right back out. Texas applying the pressure.
And that's 8 straight balls to put 2 on with no outs.
Tech going through their signs defensively. But David Pierce in Texas, I think this is a bunt situation. Even though you have your number 5 hitter at the plate, if they can't put some pressure on, force the defense to make a play.
Mason Hibbler has struggled against Evie this afternoon. 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Half of the strikeouts that Evie has thrown up on the board.
Chambers is behind the runner at first base. That's really surprising to me.
And now Braga will make the move, calling for Ethan Roberts. High leverage as Ethan Roberts comes in with his Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles holding the 5-3 lead. 2-1, nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. He has put them in really good position for the Golden Eagles to get a win, but this is one of the most key situations coming up as he lost his control to start the bottom of the 6th. Back-to-back walks has led Tennessee Tech to go to the bullpen and call on Ethan Roberts, who has been tailor-made for situations like this.
Oh, he is. He's got outstanding control. I watched every pitch that he made in his start on Monday, looking at his deal. He went through a stretch lull of nearly 40 pitches where he did not miss a spot. That's how good a command he has. He's got good stuff and good command. And we got another point here. We talked about this heat and playing on the turf. And you look at
John Hamm moments ago.
He's having a tough time, and they're going to have to make a move as Littlejohn comes into the game to play second base, and Hamm has to come out of the ball game.
So we saw Hamm go to the tunnel, and Braga immediately run back to check on him. So Cody Littlejohn will now be the second baseman, sophomore infielder from Alabama. So 1 change that was expected, 1 unexpected.
The arsenal is a fastball that will be in the 90s. The best pitch for Roberts is a cutter. He's just got an outstanding cutter, really bears into the left-handed hitters in on their hands, away from the right-handers. He does have a curveball. He'll throw a slider, but not very often. He uses his cutter, an occasional change. He keeps the ball down, outstanding command.
Not a big dude, but it comes out hot.
Chambers still low behind the runner at first base in a bunt situation.
Cubs took notice, drafted Roberts in the 4th round, top pick out of the Ohio Valley Conference. And Caleb Ahea wants time. So Clemens on second base, Zubia on first after 8 straight balls from Marcus Evie. And Mason Hibbler is the batter, 0 for 2. Struck out twice against Evie. Shows bunt, cannot get it down. It's Strike one.
Now Chambers inside the runner. As Hibbler bunts through that. That's the toughest one on a base runner. Is when they bunt through it, you anticipate the ball being bunted. That's the one that you can get hung out to dry sometimes out there. Roberts pitches at his own pace. He's not a quick worker. Throws from the first base side of the rubber. He commits to every pitch he throws.
Two-one. Hibbler trying to give him an out. Mason Hibbler, first year on campus at the University of Texas after transferring from Odessa College. Won a state championship his senior year at Cypress Ranch High School, but had not hit his growth spurt yet. And it was overlooked. Popped up, and it's going to get foul, as for a moment Chambers was trying to determine, do I lay out for this or not? So two opportunities for Hibbler to get the bunt down, and he has not been able to.
Now failed execution. Don't believe he'll be bunting here. He'll be trying to swing the bat. Mason runs good. He's not an easy guy to double up. Golden Eagles will be looking for the double play ball right here. They're still in bunt defense. Don't believe Hibbler will be bunting now.
He's showing it. See if he pulls it back. He does. And swings through it. 3 strikeouts for Mason Hibbler.
Best velocity. Ethan Roberts right there. That's just, he reached back and got a little more. Just that extra gear and climbed the ladder. And Hibbler just, that ball was fine. Could not get to it over the middle of the zone at the letters. This wind is whipping now.
Those flags were not moving
today.
At the beginning of the game, they were still. Now blowing from right to left. Ball 1 to Reynolds.
That's the cutter right there. Downstairs. Bears in on the left-handed hitters. I'm telling you what, this ball is going to explode out of here to left field right now. It's going gusting up to 20, 25 miles an hour.
One-0. Reynolds thought about it, and it's a called strike. Outside for strike 2. Working that edge, just nibbling away at Ryan Reynolds.
That's more of the two-seamer. You can see it run away from the left-handed hitting Reynolds. And he's also got the cutter that he can run in on you.
Great at locating that fastball in and out, especially consistently keeping it low in the zone, which you want to do against a power hitter like Reynolds. Roberts steps off to take a look at Cody Clemens.
Good communication. Garza, you can hear Garza just coming in saying, hey, 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 step off, step off, step off. As Clemens had an opportunity.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Roberts, working that outside black.
He just dotted the I right here. Comes right back with it. Just outside corner, black. Get the call.
Up to DJ Petrinsky. An inning that started so well for Texas offensively. Built with momentum. After getting out of a bases loaded jam with one out without giving up anything. 8 straight balls for Marcus Evie. Put Clemens and Zubia on. Roberts has come in from the bullpen, has struck out Hibbler and Reynolds. First pitch ball to Petrinsky.
DJ's got some pop now. You make a mistake, he can hit it out of the ballpark, especially with this breeze going to left.
8 home runs on the season. Outside 2-0. Two home runs for Petrinsky and the Austin Regional. 4 for 8 overall. Did not strike out.
Well, you're looking fastball right here, something you can extend on and you want it up. If it's not there, take it.
High and tight, and it's 3-0. Tate Shaw is on deck. Uh-oh, be careful with those canopies. This wind not too kind for those structures right now. And it has just picked up in the last 10 minutes. Roberts comes back with the strike.
Same scenario that you are 2-0. You got a strike to work with. Ethan Roberts knows as well. The pitcher, he knows he's got to make his best pitch right now and find a corner.
Popped out of play.
And he did. Got that ball away. Now he's got the opportunity, Lowell. The advantage goes back to Roberts now. He can go to his cutter. It's probably his best pitch here. And you just saw the straight fastball. Now, if this starts out in that same spot with a cut, you're going to move away from the barrel. Runners will be off for Texas.
Roberts gets out of it. 3 straight strikeouts after coming out of the bullpen. That's why they say he is the competitive moment guy.
Well, he's just outstanding. He has such great command that he can do so many different things here. He throws the fastball by Hibbler, comes back, pinpoints the fastball, and then the cutter, 3-2 for the third one.
Regionals still holding down that flag out in left field. Elijah McNamee for Mississippi State
Wow.
is Mr. Walk-Off.
No,
Did that against Florida State in Tallahassee in the regional round. Does that last night against Vandy in Nashville. That's big time. North Carolina punching the ticket. They are their first team this season to advance to Omaha. And Casey Mize, right? This is just days after
Florida
going number
Gators.
1 overall. And the Gators get 6 runs off them.
And they look like they're ready to defend their national championship from 2017.
Josh Sawyer returns. And Chambers leading off. Chambers with the 2-run wall ball to center field. That gave Tennessee Tech the lead, and they have not relinquished it. Texas had an opportunity just a half inning ago. That's off the hand of DJ Petrinsky.
Ryan Reynolds playing rover in right field, and his number on my scorecard says 5. That means he's a third baseman, but he's in right field as a rover right now.
So the shift is on for Chase Chambers. Why is this game so important? Well, since the NCAA went to the super regional format in 1999, 79% of the teams to win game 1 have gone on to win the super regional and advance to Omaha. So early edge here, Tennessee Tech. They came in with confidence, came in with swagger. Didn't think they belonged here in Austin. They look to step farther than that. Feel like they belong in Omaha and will be there once this is all said and done. Keep in mind, most teams out of smaller conferences like the Ohio Valley Conference, they get into the NCAA tournament as an automatic qualifier by winning their conference tournament. Tennessee Tech is not one of those teams. Got in despite losing their conference tournament.
At large.
And still as a number 2 regional seed. For more coverage of the Division I baseball regionals and interactive brackets, go to ncaa.com.
Bullpen is active for Texas with 2 right-handers up and going.
Matt Whalen and Parker Joe Robinson, with Robinson up for the second time. This is Trevor Putzik. One of those guys, according to his head coach, if he's on your team, you love him. But when he's swinging the bat for the other team, you simply hate him. That type of polarizing figure in the 5 spot for Tennessee Tech.
Well, he's given so much backup. When you have a guy with the year that Chase Chambers is having, you got to have a guy behind him that is support, because, you know, teams are going to say, oh, we're not going to throw to him. All he's done is hit 17 homers behind him.
And Sawyer comes back with a strikeout, 94 on that fastball. Let's check in with Allison Williams.
Hey there, well, we got a good one in Lubbock. Duke and Texas Tech tied up at 3 apiece in the 7th until Zach Cohn gets a hold of this one for a single, drives in a run, gives Duke the 4-3 lead. That is Cohn's 3rd hit and 3rd RBI of the day.
Thank you, Allison. So he's locked in as Duke has the lead there. Duke, a fantastic season. They are in the conversation to host. Ended up opening on the road at Georgia. And like Tennessee Tech, going into SEC country, hostile environment, and coming out with a win. This is David Garza. Garza well hit to right field, and it's foul.
You can see the breeze right there, how it affected that ball there. That was ticketed way out of play. It really got pushed back to the field of play. And Duke Ellis and Nick Osborne, the right fielders, you really have to pay attention to that here at UFC Disch-Falk Field, as when we get this southerly breeze, especially as strong as it is right now, in this ballpark, it pushes everything back to the field of play.
0-2 to Garza. And Sawyer gets him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Josh Sawyer.
He's setting up at that fastball. Everything's coming off of his fastball. It's a good one. And then he's got that wipeout breaking ball that he goes to right there to get the strikeout.
Speaking of wipeout, you're talking about a young man that basically had 2 seasons completely wiped out because of multiple arm issues.
Over 600 days in between appearances.
They always knew this stuff was there, but step one, once he got healthy, was coming back and pitching with confidence. In the words of the Texas pitching coach, Phil Haig, just getting him to go out there and to understand that his arm was not going to fall off.
Well, it happens to everybody that has surgeries, and he's had multiple.
Nick Osborne, fantastic regional in Oxford.
There ain't nothing fancy about that. He's just rearing back and letting it go right now. Osborne came up empty. This guy's got some pop, too.
Sawyer, a 16th round pick by the Cubs. And we have a light rain starting to fall. Outside. But a ball, it's 2-1. Texas bullpen has not allowed an earned run thus far in the NCAA championship. To right field, this will not be pushed back in play. And Sawyer is 1 pitch away from allowing everybody to stretch it out. Poke to right field. Ellis is there. The rain starts to come down. Texas hoping it means time to open up the bats. We got 8-9-1 coming up. Welcome back to Austin, Texas. Into the bottom of the 7th with Tennessee Tech up on the home team. Longhorns 5-3. Rain has started to come down. Tate Shaw leading off for the Longhorns and rolls it over. It's going to be tough, but the pitch on point to Ethan Roberts. 1 down.
Nice job of covering up. Got to get over. It's been so warm in Central Texas. These fans that are here not disappointed in a little bit of water that's coming down from the sky right now.
Yeah, most of them staying put. Doesn't look like it is a major system. Should pass through relatively quickly. Cool them off a little bit as well, as McKenzie has had a fantastic start and continues it to the gap. Looking for a second double. The throw from Junior, not in time. And if it was, that would have been trouble because McKenzie slides all the way through the base.
Senior from Dallas has had an outstanding ball game. Sets back, goes with this pitch the other way. Boy, as he's sliding into second, it shows you a little bit about the moisture on this field turf. See, he comes in and, whoa, let me get back to that bag.
So a career high, 2 doubles in 1 game for McKenzie, and he ties a career high with 3 total hits. David Pierce said before the start of the series, this time of year, it's about the unexpected. And the production from McKenzie has been unexpected. Here's David Hamilton. It gets away. McKenzie moves up 90.
As an ex-catcher, there are times you get blocked, especially when somebody's trying to bunt. They get the barrel of the bat out in front of you, and it's exactly what Hamilton did. So he had the bat out in front, pulled it back late. Sometimes you get blocked. Ball gets away from you. I would think the infield will be back here for Tennessee Tech.
These Texas fans standing in defiance. Defiance of the rain. 1-0.
Hamilton has not been a big home run guy or a big RBI guy, but he's been one of the best in his 2 years in college at getting that guy in from third with less than 2 outs. Big opportunity here.
One of the national leaders in sac flies as a freshman. He has found the power stroke, and this is sophomore year. To left center field. Harris is on it. McKenzie will easily score, and it's a one-run ball game. Third sac fly for the Longhorns this afternoon.
Well, that's a quality at bat. It doesn't look like much, but you've got to take advantage of that. With the runner advancing, getting to third base less than 2 outs, you get the run home.
Duke Ellis looking for his grip with the rain coming down. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and now a one-run game. Putzig was crashing at third, anticipating bunt. This is for a ball.
It's going to be wet. It's hard to play defense. The ball's going to have some moisture on it. If it stops, it will not take long to dry out, as warm as it's been, and as dry as it's been in Central Texas.
Ellis chops it foul.
Man of the match right there, Jake McKenzie for Texas.
One-one for the JUCO transfer, Duke Ellis. They make it 1-2. Will they have a chance for that man, Cody Clemens, to drive in a run here? And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just fighting for another shot. 94 from Ethan Roberts. Undersized, but he can bring it.
Might see him come back with that after going with the good fastball. Come back with the cutter in on the hands of Ellis.
And a tough at-bat from Duke Ellis. Transfer from Panola College. One of 3 JUCO transfers that have all made an impact in the 2nd season under David Pierce. DJ Petrinsky and Mason Hibbler. To center field, well struck, but right into the mitt of Alex Jr. Texas gets 1. They make it a one-run game, and this is what we're playing for. Texas trying to go to Omaha for the 36th time. Tennessee Tech for the first time ever. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Lloyd Galindo here with 3-time All-American Keith Moreland, playing for the right to advance to Omaha. Each winner of these Super Regionals will make that trip. And on this side of the bracket, Arkansas, South Carolina, game 1 coming up later tonight. Florida beat Casey Mize as the Auburn Ace gave up a career-high 6 runs in an 8-2 win for the Gators. And Duke and Texas Tech in action on ESPNU, and a really tight one. And we have another fantastic game here in Austin, Texas. The rain has stopped. The Texas crowd, they have held their ground. And we advance to the top of the 8th inning. Colin Harris leading off against Josh Sawyer. Harris had a collision, tracking down a double off the bat of Jake McKenzie early in this game. Came up holding his arm. Apparently he is okay. In other injury or ailment news, John Hamm left when Ethan Roberts was put in the ball game. And his replacement is on deck in Cody Littlejohn.
Sawyer's come in throwing smoke since coming into the game. He's got an outstanding fastball. Tennessee Tech has not caught up to it yet. And he's got the ability here now with 2 strikes to go to a wipeout breaking ball as well.
The mid of Petrinsky popping with every delivery from Josh Sawyer. Defensive swing, and it works to see another one. No easy outs, 1 through 9 for Tennessee Tech. In the game, it started with them spraying base hits, especially to the left side. Patient approach, especially with 2 strikes, eventually allowed the extra base hits to start piling up. Haven't had a ton of them, but they came in back-to-back fashion with Chase Chambers and David Garza.
It's a big pitch here. Well, I mean, Harris has done a nice job from down in the count to come back to a full count.
3-2. And it's a walk to the studio, and Allison.
Hey there, well, we have a back-and-forth ball game in Lubbock. Duke took a 1-run lead in the top of the 7th. In the bottom of the 7th, Texas Tech answers back. Zach Reams goes yard, sending this up and out over the right field line. We are now tied up at 4 apiece in the 7th.
But did it land in the track and field complex like we saw him do last weekend?
It went about a mile last week.
That offense.
You do not see the Golden Eagles bunt very often. But Littlejohn just coming into the game in a lefty-lefty matchup. See what happens here. And that's a good call for Sawyer. You know, he's a veteran. He's been around a long time. Throw over and see if the hitter gives you any indication whether he's going to square or not.
12 sack bunts for the Golden Eagles. They prefer to focus on home runs and doubles. They have 2 doubles. Stockpiling singles to go along with those. As Cody Littlejohn making his first plate appearance.
Yeah, he did try, but he really adjusted late. That's difficult to do against a guy like Sawyer that has so much movement on his fastball. Back-to-back left-handers do here for Tennessee Tech.
And there is the 13th sack bunt, bare hand to second, and Hamilton cannot play the bounce.
Blow when the turf gets damp. It scoots, it doesn't bounce as it normally does. And I really believe that's a play that Hamilton would make, other than we just had this moisture come down and the turf is slick. You can see this ball come up. Sawyer gets to it, he goes to second, and it has that long scoot. You can see it right there. What happens, it takes the spin out of it, and the ball scoots instead of bounces, and just handcuffed Hamilton. Couldn't come up with it at second base.
Trying to get his Chase Sugar on, like we saw in the regionals. It's a barehanded ball fired to second for a double play. Top of the lineup, Alex Jr. No outs, as McKenzie also expecting bunt. And that hits him. Oh, no. That got Alex Jr. in the head. Robinson enters the game, and these are the moments that he is known for, where he has performed his best, specifically getting out of bases loaded jams.
Well, he's been outstanding. He doesn't walk many batters. He's got a sweeping breaking ball to the right-handed hitters, and his fastball's got good sink to it, 3/4 to sidearm delivery.
He's going to face Kalevahea with nobody out, and the bases loaded.
He's made that adjustment to drop down. And, boy, he's been an integral part of this Texas bullpen, especially the second half of the season.
Bases loaded for the Golden Eagles. Harris on third, he drew a walk. Littlejohn on second. He reached on an air fielder's choice, and Junior took one on the cheek to get his spot at first. Kalevahea drove in the first 2 runs of the game for Tennessee Tech, with a single to right field in the third. That gave the Golden Eagles their first lead of the game. Texas would take it back 5-3. Excuse me. Texas would take it back 3-2 off the bat of Cody Clemens. And Tennessee Tech has responded, now holding the 5-4 lead.
Texas defensively right here, Lowell, it's a little unusual. Short double play depth. They will play for 2 in the middle. Reynolds and McKenzie are up tight. They would probably come to the plate for the force play.
Tipped and caught by Petruski. There's the first out.
Just an outstanding job right there. Coming in out of the bullpen, you got to throw strike 1. Robinson did that and then set it up. Gets the huge strikeout. Now the double play can get you out of the inning.
Stroshine, 2-time Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. 0 for 4. It's been a tough regional and super regional for Stroshine. He's struck out twice and has grounded out twice to third base. But he has some serious pop in his bat.
You get one pitch in at bat, usually, Lowell, that you can really drive. He got it right there and fouled it off. See if Robinson can come back and make a pitch right here and get a ground ball.
Although Stroshine struggled in Oxford, he did have the sac fly in the 7th inning of the deciding game to drive in the go-ahead run. On the ropes here against Robinson. And down on strikes for the 3rd time.
Just outstanding to come in, and you're in a tough scenario. Bases loaded, nobody out, and back-to-back strikeouts. Great location. Away. He's got a tough guy to get right here.
Yeah, you think typically feeling pretty good. Got the number 3 hitter out with the bases loaded. Guy that's a 2-time Conference Player of the Year, but oh wait, now it's the national leader in RBIs in Chase Chambers. He's already driven into. Robinson misses inside. 1 for 3. 2-run double to center field. It just eluded Tate Shaw. 9 for 13 with the bases loaded. Chambers lives for moments like this. That was just painting the outside edge. Chambers doesn't agree.
48 walks on the year, only 24 strikeouts for Chambers.
Robinson with the mitt and the flip. Left loaded again. Texas with a one-run deficit. They will lead off with the guy that can erase that deficit with one swing of the bat. Cody Clemens leading off when we return. All season long, Cody Clemens has had the answer when Texas has needed it the most. They probably need it now more than ever. 22 home runs as a solo shot earlier in the game. Second most in single season history, which is saying a lot, because the Longhorns have provided college baseball with some of the best power hitters in history. Fouled back, 1-1.
Don't want to stay there if you're Roberts. There's that hittable pitch I talk about in every at-bat. And has just fouled it back.
Ethan Roberts has been electric since coming out of the pen. 3 straight strikeouts in the 6th after Texas got their first 2 on. Popped up. Out of play. What are you looking for here with the arsenal from Roberts?
Well, he's got lots of options now with 2 strikes. First of all, he's thinking right along with what you're thinking in your mind. I got to keep it in the ballpark. So what do I keep in the ballpark? Usually is away. That's the first place, even though the wind is blowing out to left field. The other part is keep the ball down. Clemens is a high ball hitter, so keep the ball down in the zone.
It's full count.
Just misses with a cutter right there.
Texas crowd hanging on every pitch. Sold out for the Super Regionals in 90 minutes. First time Longhorns have hosted since 2014 when they went all the way to Omaha. The tying run is on board.
A really nice job by both pitcher and hitter. Roberts did not give in. Clemens took the cutter down and in for ball 4.
Chase Sugar, we just saw moments ago on that camera shot from the Texas dugout. He is now jogged down to join the Texas bullpen. Likely would start tomorrow. And at this point in time, if Texas can get a couple, it may make sense for him to come in. But first things first, you got one of the best pitchers in America, especially in these situations, Ethan Roberts on the hill. Zuby has driven in a run with a sac fly to right field. That was back in the first. Unloads, but it's straight up. Putzig, about 30 seconds later, makes the catch.
Well, that would have been better than an average punt, wouldn't it? It was up there more than 5 seconds.
Some Michael Dixon hang time for Texas football fans. Hibbler has had a extremely rough opener here in the Supers. 0 for 3, all strikeouts. He does not get cheated when he takes those hacks. See if he can run into something. Ethan Roberts so good at missing the fat of the bat. Does it again.
It's a right-handed hitter when you know a guy's got a cutter, a la Mario Rivera when he threw. You really have to concentrate and think about being on top and really, you can't think pull. If you do, the cutter is going to come off with a barrel to the end of the bat. So you got to think up the middle the other way and stay on top of it.
On a line to left field, Harris retreats, makes the catch. And there's 2 down.
Good at bat right there. You can't do anything but to barrel it up, and that's exactly what he did.
Ryan Reynolds 0 for 2. He's been hit once. Grounded out to short and struck out. Longhorns hitless with the runner on, 0 for 10. Reynolds hitting lefty, which has been a development in the last third of the season. He is a switch hitter and hit from both sides as a freshman. But for the beginning of the year, hit exclusively right-handed.
Has pop from both sides of the plate, so it's not like he can't extend, hit the ball in the ballpark.
One, two.
Ethan Roberts,
nasty.
He just has a great knack of putting the ball what he's trying to do, and his game plan. Fastball away, foul back, comes back, cutter down and under the hands. He has so many options here that he can go to finish off Reynolds.
And gets the outside call. Ethan Roberts stealing the show out of the Tennessee Tech bullpen. For the second straight inning, something gets cooking for the Longhorns. However, nothing across here in the 8th. This is the intensity that you want in a super regional. A one-run game going into the 9th inning, and it's been close at every part of this game. Texas took the early lead. Had been nearly unbeatable when striking first. Tennessee Tech came back in the 3rd to take the lead back. As this ball is hit well to center field, Putzig with the first out. Here's Allison Williams.
Hey there, Lowell. An update from Lubbock. It is a tie game, no more. Texas Tech's Gabe Holt with this RBI single to right puts Texas Tech up 5-4. He would score a batter later. It is now a 6-4 ball game in the 9th. Lowell?
Big 12 Freshman of the Year coming through. David Garza up with 1 out. After Tennessee Tech took that 2-1 lead, Texas would then come back, and off the bat of Cody Clemens, make it 3-2 Longhorns. In the 5th, the Golden Eagles put up a 3-spot. 2-run double from Chase Chambers. A 1-run double from this man, Garza, and that made it 5-3. Longhorns would then add a run with a David Hamilton sac fly in the 7th to get us at 5-4. Parker Joe Robinson, give him credit for keeping it at a 1-run game, as he entered an inning ago
with
as dicey as a situation as you could step into. Loaded, no outs, back-to-back strikeouts, and then a ground out straight back to him. And there is strikeout number 3 for Robinson. Playing for a trip to Omaha. Left side of our bracket, Florida, over Auburn in the first game in Gainesville. Texas Tech has taken the lead over Duke, Arkansas, South Carolina, moments away from starting. And here in Austin, it's Tennessee Tech up on Texas 5-4. The Golden Eagles, one of 5 teams playing in the Super Regional for the first time in program history. 2 of those teams have played in Omaha. They just haven't played in this Super Regional format since it was introduced in '99. Tennessee Tech is not one of those teams. They are brand new to this environment, but looking right at home here in Austin.
How good has Texas bullpen been in the NCAA Regional and now the Super? 10 innings out of the bullpen, 5 hits, no runs, no earned runs. They've walked 5 and struck out, count them, 15. In this game, 4 innings of work, only 1 hit.
But it has been the offensive approach from Tennessee Tech that has been the difference in this game. 10 hits. So they've doubled up Texas. The first 4 hits by the Golden Eagles, all coming with 2 strikes. 134 home runs on the year, the most in the BB Core era. And Texas has kept the Golden Eagles in the park. Yet Longhorns still trail by 1.
Osborne's got good power, so you got to be careful right here because 2 outs, nobody on. You're looking to drive something as a hitter. You know you need extra bases.
Up the middle, past Clemens and Robinson, and a 2-out base hit for Nick Osborne. His second single of game 1.
That's a good job as a reliever right there. Keep it in the ballpark. Well, down and away. Only thing, yes, he got a base hit. It extends the inning, but he kept it in the ballpark in a scenario where you know the hitter's thinking about extra bases.
Golden Eagles, national leaders, a major slash line, average on base percentage, slugging percentage. We've even seen them try to lay down bunts and play a little station to station here this afternoon. First pitch swinging is Colin Harris. He goes around. It will be Petrinsky, Shaw, McKenzie scheduled in the bottom of the 9th. McKenzie, the number 9 hitter, has tied his career high with 3 base hits, 2 of them doubles. And it's an 0-2 count for Parker Joe Robinson. He is a large reason why Texas has a chance. Bases loaded, no outs, got out of it an inning ago, trying to finish the top of the 9th here. Inside, and it comes very close to getting a piece of Harris.
He's got him set up for the big sweeping breaking ball. See if he goes to it here.
Back outside, but misses too far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Andy McGuire, Matt Whalen up in the Texas bullpen.
In and out, up and down. And then there's times when you go make it look like a strike and then make it go out of the zone.
Slow breaker, and it's full. Runner should be in motion here with a full count, 2 outs. It's Nick Osborne over on first. Cody Littlejohn on deck. It won't matter. Parker Joe Robinson keeping it within one. 7, 8, 9 coming up for Texas. Trying to walk it off here in Austin. NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One here in Austin, Texas at UFCU Disch-Falk Field. Lowell Galindo with Keith Moreland. Fantastic atmosphere, fantastic crowd that stayed in their seats even when the rain started coming down. And Ethan Roberts collecting himself before he tries to close out what would be the first ever win in the Super Regionals for this Tennessee Tech program. One that leads the nation with 52 wins. They shocked college baseball, specifically the Ole Miss Rebels, by going to Oxford and winning 2 elimination games on Monday to advance to the Supers for the first time in program history. Petrinsky will lead off the bottom of the 9th. First pitch swinging, and it's strike 1.
Starts him out with a cutter. Stayed over the middle of the dish. Out in front of it.
Texas 7-4 this season in games decided by 1 run. And that's fouled off to make it 0-2. Keep in mind, last season, 1-run games was the bugaboo for Texas, as they were 9-17.
5 wins in their last at bat.
And most notable, David Hamilton with a walk-off grand slam against Texas State. To give him a chance, somebody 7, 8, or 9 will have to do their job. Petrinsky and Shaw have yet to reach. McKenzie, the number 9 hitter, has been at his best. Way outside. What did your old coach used to tell you about getting these outs?
Toughest outs in baseball are 25, 26, and 27. And Ethan Roberts has been really good.
And that's why these final 3 outs are so important. 79% of the teams that have won Game 1 since moving to the Super Regional format in 1999 have won the series to go to Omaha. This finds the glove of Harris. Tennessee Tech 2 outs away. Here's Allison.
Guys, given that Game 1 stat, you can see why they're ready to celebrate and love it. But first, some tense moments. Duke down 2 with 2 on, but Ty Harpinaugh gets Chris Proctor to ground into the 4-6-3 double play, and Tech takes Game 1 in this best-of-3 series by a score of 6-4. Guys.
Thank you, Allison. Tate Shaw, 0 for 3. Ethan Roberts showing tremendous stuff and tremendous poise out of the Tennessee Tech bullpen. Didn't take him long to get used to these environments. Looked like an absolute stud, making his first start of the year in the first elimination game against Ole Miss.
He usually is very patient. I like this. He's stepping off. Seemed to rush after getting that first out. Sometimes you can rush the moment. Stay in your tempo. And if you're Texas, your job as a hitter is maybe get him out of his tempo.
Had a great opportunity in the 7th with McKenzie delivering a 2-out double, or 1-out double, but only getting 1 to show for it. Junior will have to come in a little bit, and that's 2 fly ball outs. Texas down to the final out here in Game 1 of the best-of-3.
Go back to what I just said. Don't try to rush it. If you're Ethan Roberts, have a game plan. McKenzie's really seeing the ball well right now. He's got 3 hits in the ballgame, 3 of the 5 Texas hits.
McKenzie having a career performance, career high 2 doubles. 3 hits in all, ties a career high. And Ethan Roberts looks to be a different breed on the mound. A guy that head coach Matt Braga saves for competitive moments. Ready for his moment here in Austin, Texas.
You want no doubles. As an outfielder, nothing over your head. Play a little deeper.
Popped up. Harris coming in and will make the catch. And Tennessee Tech has stormed into Austin to take game number 1 of the Super Regional. Are you surprised? I can tell you one man that's not. The guy that will take the bump for the Golden Eagles tomorrow. Travis Moss telling us yesterday that the Golden Eagles would win this Super and they would win it in 2 games. This is the